Did y'all miss us? I know y'all just seen us last week. I think they missed us. Do you think?
Probably not.
My job as a wife in this relationship is to get on his last nerves as much as I can. You like to see, babe? As you can see, the look at his face, I succeed. Nevertheless, welcome back to Harvesting House. Yeah, y'all. I hope y'all are doing well through the spirit. Today we're gonna talk about how we handle conflict because that's just like something healthy that I feel like we both could touch on because we've been together for a while now. You want to touch on like how many years we've been together and like from like best friendship to like relationship.
We met, I want to say, the end of 2021, became best friends, started dating in the springtime of 2022. Little, the little fake boyfriend, girlfriend type, whatever that is. Um, then the following year, we got married once we were in Cleveland, like right before our relationship hit a year. Um, Yeah, and we have been married for a year and some months now. So yeah.
All praises to the Most High. Thank you for that lovely timeline. But within that, obviously, things have not just been peaches and cream. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't always just like having like a beautiful day. And we've dealt with some conflict. And yeah, so that's why we're about to touch on it, talk about it. What's a healthy way to resort it? Despite your relationship with your spouse, you're gonna hit some type of conflict, and it is really important to know how that should be dealt with, especially in a healthy manner. There's been times where we've both had pride and it's been in the way and we don't want to speak at the moment, or we just moving around with some ugly energy in the household. So can you name some like things that you find helpful to like come to a resolution when there's an issue within us?
Um Basically just being able to sit and reflect and examine the whole situation, think about what caused you to feel the way you're feeling, um and how to go about speaking on that instead of attacking one another and pointing the finger, being able to see what you did wrong and why that other person made you feel how you feel, and
Sure.
being able to come back together to be able to be vulnerable with one another, even though it's a very uncomfortable feeling within being vulnerable. It's very healthy, especially moving forward, having that vulnerable space. Something else that helps that I had to grow from with was in the midst of an argument or a discussion or whatever you want to call it when we're in the heat of a moment, I would be listening only to respond instead of listening to actually hear you out.
Mm,
And I had to change that and my whole perspective on the outlook of things and seeing things from hindsight instead of on the surface level. So yeah, I feel like those are two of the main things is basically being able to examine and come back later when we're cooled down and listening to the other person to hear them out and show that you care instead of just listening to respond because things don't get solved that way.
I can understand both of those. I come from a place of like I think it's a childhood thing, just coming from like a lack thereof and like receiving kind of like validation or like what can I say? Receiving like awareness within being a victim, you
Mm,
know? And so like people see you're a victim and they kind of like comfort that because as people we care about people, so we're so quick to be like, oh, it's going to be okay, oh, it's not your fault, oh, here's this because I see that you're like in a victim mindset kind of thing. And so I kind of used to play some manipulation within that. And I had to come to realization that like it does not matter what the other party has did. They could have been a bigger wronger doer, but at the end of the day, it takes two to tango within any disagreement, within any altercation or anything like that. So self examination is so important. Like, and I always say, like, I raised myself a certain way, and the Most High raised me a certain way to not be as the world be. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many people in this world that be like, oh, it's the principle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, no, forget the principle,
That's where that pride comes in.
Yes. Yes. And it's like, forget the principle, you know what I'm saying? It's really about, like, how does God want you to move and how should you move? Like, humbleness and meekness for sure has taught me, like, okay, let me examine myself and see where I went wrong despite anything, you know.
You know, people don't want that. Um, People don't want that, and that could be even outside of situations with conflict. It could be someone coming to you and venting to you, and whole time they want you to pacify them or be on their side, and then you
Mm.
try to give them advice or you try to correct them and show them where they went wrong or how they're in the wrong. They get an attitude with you as if you were the person that they had the conflict with, when in all actuality, I'm telling you these healthy things to help you and to help you move better in the future, but
Yes.
you want to throw this back on me because people just want to be pacified. People just want to be, and
Yes.
I've been there.
We've all been
I've
there.
definitely been a suspect of that, a victim of that. Um, but yeah, people just want to be pacified and they want their feelings coddled and they want to feel good. Because, but in all actuality, that feeling of feeling good is temporary
Yes.
because you're going to come across the same lesson again. So if you just take the advice and take the pain right now, when you're able to use it in a situation in the future, it's not going to be that temporary feel good. It's going to be the feel good of, wow, growth.
Yeah. Most High be moving within you because there was a situation about a couple weeks ago or last week, and I was kind of like, but this, and you're like, but this, and I'm like, like, of course, as a person, you're always gonna want that, like you said, to be coddled in a way. Like, we always gonna want that, like, as a human. That's just like some fleshly stuff. But then there's God who, like we always say, he doesn't care about feelings. You know what I'm saying? And to receive that correctness and not have the blind leading the blind and have me, like, going down the wrong path, I appreciate that because it just comforts me in a way more than you ever know. It comforts me into growth, and sometimes growth looks like falling real hard.
Yes.
And I just be needing that because, like, and within all those moments, like, there might be something in the future, like, and there's gonna be a moment where I'm like, I'm gonna be wanting to be caught up within my own feelings again, and Lord willing, you're gonna redirect me again, and I just always have to keep that in the back of my mind, like, oh, he's not my enemy. We're a team. He's doing this because, like I said, I've raised myself into a certain way. The Most High has raised myself a certain way. Um, I have to be greater than the most. We are set apart for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And important thing for you to know is it takes balance
mm,
because um I come from a place of people pleasing,
mm,
so I want to coddle your feelings.
mm,
At times I want to coddle your feelings and I've given in to letting you have your way when I know I shouldn't have. And it's been other times where I can come off as aggressive and I shouldn't have went that way either. It has to be a perfect balance of not letting you have your way, but still being able to be soft with you because you're my wife.
yes.
You're the weaker vessel. People look at that as a downplay or whatever the case may be, an insult. When in all actuality, that's how the Most High set it up.
Mm-hmm.
You're the weaker vessel. I'm the head of the house, and things have to go a certain way in order. So balance is needed,
Yes.
and um, just like the man has to have balance and understanding um, how not to coddle you too much, but also come to you in the correct manner of making you feel validated
Okay.
and heard,
Yes.
but also giving you that correction so that
Mm.
growth will be present in the future. And then women have to also have to come from a place of understanding and being willing to listen
Yes.
and be corrected, but also not scared to correct her husband when the time is necessary.
Con, I felt that. Where's a place where you feel like you could do better within like conflict? Like, yes, we sitting up here and giving people advice, but like, where's a place that you're like, okay, I can most definitely do better when this conflict comes about?
I say pride still. I I've been doing better recently for sure because when something happens, I'm able to look at it in hindsight and be like, you're not about to be mad about this. This is something very small and she doesn't deserve that energy. So hurry up and release it because that's how the Most High intends on us to be. He
Mm,
tells us to take everything cheerfully. So if we're quick to be angry, then we're not a true servant of the Most High because He didn't call us
mm,
to be that way. He called us to be humble and take everything cheerfully. And I know
con,
it's easier said than done,
yes.
but we just have to put our emotions to the side and move with logic instead of our feelings. And I've been doing better within that. I'm able to cast things down right away, but it's also times recently after I've done that, something else could make me feel something and I will know that I need to cast this away, but I give in to my pride and like, no, because this, no,
The principle.
this, exactly, exactly. It's always the principle. But yeah, just being humble and understanding that we have to be patient and long suffering with people, just how the Most
Yes.
High is patient and long suffering with us. We went against Him so many times
So
throughout
many.
history and within our ancestors and then within our own lives as well.
Mm.
So who are we to move around I, irate and angry and just impatient? Who are we to just carry this around like we're just the baddest mofo to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like we're not
yeah.
the Most High. If He can do it, then we can do it. We have to put our flesh to the side and move within the
Mm.
spirit.
Con, I agree upon that. For myself, I think it's taking everything personal.
I can relate. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd be like, dang, like that's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the most high be like, that's not even you don't even have to carry that burden, but I'd be like, no, most high, I got it. Looking silly with like tons of things weighing more than me. And I'm like, I don't got it. You know, and I just be like, I just been in a place lately. I'm like, I turn in quick to him, like within everything. I'm like, all right, let me do my breaths, let me write it out, and let me just turn to the Most High because, like, within me writing, something about that writing, it's like releasing and just like not being personal, taking things personal. This Four Agreements book that I'm reading, that's one of the agreements of not taking things personal because we can do that so much and so often, even the things that we have like the right to take personal, it isn't like good for your energy in a way. It's like taking on like, oh, I want to take on how this person treat me bad and this person treat me bad. The whole time, like it's like the scriptures say, we battle not flesh and blood, but principalities and demons. You know, this whole time somebody treats you like that is because they got some stuff on them that they're dealing with and they just don't know how to.
And sometimes they don't even know they have something on them.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's not our
So
job to
ignorant.
carry that. We
Yeah.
have to be able to be understanding and come, like I
Yes.
said, come from a place of humility.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think I could grow within handling conflict?
I think willing to like self-examine, you know what I'm saying? To be like, dang, like I might not have a tone, but she thinks I have a tone. So let me reflect and see like how I said that or what I did, you know.
Hmm.
Because there's so many times that I've done stuff and I'm like, hold on. You can't like that's like our like the problem we had said about like within like being so quick to respond, like defending yourself, like no, no, I did it. But we have to like take a step back and be like, dang, like I could have been moving fast and I could have bumped him and he probably like was already annoyed by somebody within traffic or something. So I could have most definitely done something, you know what I'm saying? So it is take a time to self reflect and be like, hey, I apologize, even though that wasn't my intention, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we unintentionally do stuff all the time, and the devil be knowing he be doing because he be hopping on people, and like there was a time where I was like having anxiety in the car, but I was snapping at you, you know what I'm saying? And you didn't really like deserve that, but that's how my anxiety came out, like, you know, and people's anxiety come out like in different ways all the time. Like it kind of reminds me of like growing up as a child, like my mom dealt with so much stuff. And that's why I'm like so forgiving in my heart for her because that's how she like interacted with us as children. Like somebody could have did something crazy to her at work, or she's dealing with stuff within her relationship with my dad, and how she's like interacting with us as children. It shows that. And so that's how she dealt with her anxiety or her depression or whatever she was going through. So just being able to self-reflect, evidently. Sorry for my tangent.
Yeah, self-reflection and self-examination is very important. Um, like I said, circling back to that humility, because we be so puffed up and macho that, oh, I'm never wrong. Like, and that's just not reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a unknown sin in a way. Something I really think was important within confrontation and disagreements and stuff like that is that forgiveness. Especially in a marriage. You you when yeah, how wish I was in there talking about like how like telling us how many times we gotta forgive our brothers and sisters 70 times 7. That's serious.
Hmm.
It's so serious, especially like dealing with somebody daily. Like like I said, we're not about to walk around here like, oh, everything's great, rainbows and sprinkles, like you know what I'm saying. But like, especially when you're like in a high emotional state. For myself, for when my flowers here, I'm like in a high emotional state, so I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying. Or like when you're just like having like an awful moment in life, it's just like you have to give grace for everything, you know,
Yeah,
because like at the end of the day, you're not my enemy. You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's how we're supposed to move through life. You're not my enemy. You have to just forgive that person. If you don't
Mhm.
forgive that person, the Most High said He's not going to forgive you if you're
Mm.
not able to forgive.
Mm. Especially when it comes to
And it has to
yourself.
be sincere. It can't be, oh, he said 70 times 7, so that's about 400, 500 sometimes. No, you can't. Don't sit there and try to count it out. Actually, just have the, have in your mind the type of spirit he carried while he was here on earth,
Yes.
and just remember that and what he did for you, and
Mm-hmm.
remember that you want the Most High to forgive you for your sins because you're non-deserving, and just forgive that person for that little thing that's not going to matter in 2 years.
Calm, calm. Yeah. When you know how everything's coming to pass really bad in this world, like how everything's looking really bad and we're in Jacob's trouble, you know, while we fleeing and running in a high state, we're not going to be like, yeah, and you stole my shoes. Da, da, da,
Exactly. That's
da.
going to go out the window.
No, literally, you're gonna be worried about like, gosh, I need to repent. Gosh, like it's a lot of things like going on. I need to protect my family. I need to protect myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Whole time, people probably going to be thinking like, dang, like, I should have made it right with that person. I should have did it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. Sometimes, um, you need your forgiveness for energy's sake, and they need your forgiveness also, because so they could grow and realize and look at that. You know, you could have did something super awful to somebody, or somebody could have did something super awful to you, and they're like, wow, this is really like a genuine sincere person because they had the ability to forgive me, and that's inspiring to them, and now that's like spreading like wildfire, like, oh, I can do this because such and such did this, you know.
That's like when growing up, when you hear people say kill them with kindness, and it's not like
Mm.
saying on purpose, like make them even more mad with your kindness, but just move with kindness, and we got to just trust in the Most High to take care of
Mhm.
these situations. Because, like you brought out in Ephesians 6:12, um, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but of principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places.
Con,
Yeah.
con. Whoa, babe, this is such a healthy conversation. But yeah, you know, this is some ways you could deal with conflict with us being vulnerable within our relationship. And we appreciate you all for tuning in to another episode of Harvest in the House.
Peace.